Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bracket Builders Podcast. I'm your host, JD Davis, and today I'm joined by my co host.
Hi, or as known as Kai was here.
And today we're going to be introducing you guys to us. This is the first episode of our podcast, and so we're super excited to, lay the land of who we are, what we talk about here, and, just get into some normal podcast proceedings. There was a bunch of Magic news in the last couple of weeks, and so we wanted to get into at least a big chunk of it during today's runtime today. So, who are we? We are the new channel Bracket Builders. If you've been on Shorts for a while, you've probably seen us run around with cards of the day and random skits we've come up with. But we're really focused on the Commander format. I personally play most formats in Magic, but especially Commander and Standard, whereas Kai here normally plays Commander. And so we're here to kind of, talk about our experience with the game of Magic, share some of our insight in from a couple years of straight commander deck building, share some stories from our time in here in the Magic scene, and, just kind of generally make good videos. Our main content is going to be focused around Commander, but you will see other stuff from us on the channels, including a little small short series where we're cataloging the Pro Tour stuff going on next year, as well as the general updates of new cards. We're going to usually probably talk about the formats where they're most relevant, which is usually going to be Standard, Modern, Pioneer, whereas Commander cards are Commander cards and Standard cards are Standard cards. They're usually not much overlap. So, now that you kind of know a little bit of who we are, Kai, who
Yes.
are you? To give people your name and then tell them who's your favorite commander and why you like it so much.
Well, you heard me earlier. I'm Kayak. I was here. Uh, but my favorite commander here is Henzi Toolbox Tori. He was one of my first commander decks that I ever bought slash played back in we started getting into Magic in the New Capenna era, and I liked the way that he juns them out.
Yeah, that Henzi deck is so cool. One of our other friends, Jeremy, one of the other members of this group, he was the first one to build Henzi, and we all love the deck so much that I think at one point or another, almost everyone we play Commander with regularly has had a copy of the Henzi deck together and in their active rotation. Currently, it's Kai who's playing the deck, and Jeremy's kind of semi-retired it because there's been all this equipment stuff recently. But Kai, tell them about the different types of the deck that you've played.
It's a lot. I actually bought the deck first, and he copied me. But
Okay, okay.
I bought the precon and I've upgraded the precon ever since. And then I have another version of the deck where it's oops all creatures with what's the slime? I don't remember his name.
Oh, is that Amori,
Yeah,
companion?
Mori.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's
The
real
Mori
fun.
companion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Toolbox is such a cool commander. It just wants you to play big creatures, and then it gives you cards and haste. And it's like the best part of playing big creature decks in Commander is getting in with them and drawing extra cards. And then
Being
it
able to
gives you that
swing right away.
whole yeah, it gives you that whole graveyard angle too. It's awesome. Yeah. And then, obviously, as you've heard the most of me talking, I am JD Davis. I'm the primary host here for Bracket Builders. You're going to see me mostly on the streams and all the shorts and such. My favorite commander is a story I've told to many people. I'd love to tell it again here at the podcast. My favorite commander is Catilda and Lier. This is a green, white, blue humans deck built around casting humans to get flashback to your spells. Because the commander is basically just super simple. It's 3 mana for a 3/3. Whenever you cast a human, instant sorcery in your graveyard gains flashback. So the commander is super open. As long as you're playing humans and instants and sorceries, you can kind of do whatever you want. Here they go down beneath us in the background.
Mhm.
Uh, and I was in the crowd with Kai and a few of our other friends at MagicCon Philly when they spoiled this card along with March of the Machines. I had the deck list built in the car ride on the way back to Chicago, and I've had it in together with a proxied commander since a week after it was spoiled, and I've been playing it pretty much nonstop since then. It's my favorite deck. I've built it in so many different ways. It's actually going to be the topic of one of our first videos here on the channel. Is how I recommend building the deck for brackets 2, 3, and 4. Uh, but Commander is such a special format because things like this are still allowed to exist. There's modern players who love Merfolk, and they built their Merfolk deck a couple years ago, and they've been getting one card every couple years. But you can't really have like a super good pet deck anymore. There's a few people who make things like this work. You know, shout out to our good friend Goblin Ringleader, who's making goblins work in every format right now. But like, you can't really have a pet deck and only play it forever, unless that pet deck involves like Tamio Inquisitive Student or Psychic Frog. So,
MH3.
yeah, or Bottom Horizons cards, right? Uh, but you know, that's just kind of getting to know who we are and talking a little bit about our decks. So let's get into the meat of the episode. What most people are probably going to be here for, and that is the new Magic spoilers. So, MagicCon Atlanta was a few weeks ago at the time of recording, and it was awesome. I had the pleasure of going. Kai unfortunately couldn't make it out with me this time, but I got to meet a lot of
Unfortunate.
people, play a bunch of games, and they gave us the whole release schedule. So I'm gonna pull up the schedule. Kai, you tell everybody what's coming out and what month it's coming. All right?
All right. So in January we have Lorwyn Eclipsed, which got moved back from this year to next year. Then in March we have an unannounced Universes Beyond, which will be announced October 10th, should be at the New York Comic Con panel with the Nickelodeon X Magic. So we're looking like it's going to be a TMNT set, though I kind of hope it's like the Nickelodeon universe type of thing. But
Mm-hmm.
that's me. In April we're gonna have Secrets of Strixhaven. In June we're gonna have Marvel's Superheroes. August is The Hobbit, going back to that franchise. October is Reality Fracture, which is the overarching story of Jace. Some might say it might be akin to Plane Chase. And then in November we have Star Trek.
Yeah. So, there's a lot to talk about here. So, the first thing I want to hit on the point is revisiting each of these and kind of sharing some of the insights. So, a lot of Magic players will see like these graphics online and not, go and watch the preview panels and things like that. They give a lot of information out, and if you want to know stuff, that's the way to go. But if you don't want to watch those preview panels, come here because I'm going to share it all with you. So, Lorwyn Eclipsed is the January release. We got a bunch of cards spoiled for it. We got a lot of information about what it's going to be, like what's going on in it, what to expect from it. Uh, and then the March set, Kai, remind me, why do we think it's TMNT?
That's just a group consensus, really. I don't really know why most people think it's TMNT.
Okay. Well, so what had seen was they have an unannounced Nickelodeon something, and then there's a panel at Comic Con, right, to announce that.
Yes, the New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is is there like why is it TMNT? Is there a different like a Nickelodeon property?
Well, what I was thinking, you know how like the early 2000s they did like the mashup Nickelodeon games?
Oh yeah, like
That's
the
what I was
Nicktoons.
hoping. Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Nicktoons would
Or
be
this
funny.
it'd be very interesting just to all different.
Could you
I
imagine
mean,
the crash out from people if they died to the Rugrats?
that would be amazing to me.
Oh my goodness.
But I
Was
think
Cat Dog Nickelodeon?
yes.
And we got the new Everything Lord with Peter Porker. Imagine Tier Zero, Cat Dog, Peter
Oh
Porker.
God.
Turns out Cat
Could you-
Dog is just 1 mana 3/3. When it hits, you exile a top card of the library and make a treasure, and you can cast that card. It's Ragavan, baby. But
Without the
no,
dash?
so yeah, so we don't know exactly what this is yet. When this video releases, they're gonna probably announce it like the next day, given our luck. So it's probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but Nicktoons would be really funny. So I hope it's Nicktoons.
That's my hope. Yeah.
Yeah. And then April, we have Secrets of Strixhaven. So the big thing to talk about for this set is if you care at all about Magic Story, this is going to be the first release since the absolute disaster of the War of the Spark novels, where we are getting a
Yes.
novel to go along with the set, in
A
addition
book.
to the normal online web fiction. So Shannon McGuire, the person who made all of the recent Magic Story for us, I think she did all of it last year, if I remember correctly, uh,
I don't know.
is the author of this book. So like, if you want to send a message to Hasbro, of like, hey guys, this is what we want more of, this is where you do it. You spend the $10, $15 and we pre-order this book before April comes and make this thing a bestseller by the pure merit of it having magic in the name. We were able to make Final Fantasy, the best-selling set of all time. We could probably make this book do at least a little bit of numbers on
People love
somewhere.
Cloud.
Right, but people love Cloud. But like, supposedly we have all these Vorthos fans running around. I believe that we do. So let's prove it with the money, right? Uh, but that set's gonna be cool. Strixhaven was a great set.
Oh yeah, I like Strixhaven. I wonder what the bonus sheet's gonna look like on Strixhaven again.
Yeah, they do have to do another bonus sheet. If they don't do
Oh yeah.
Mystical Archives, it's gonna be a huge disappointment.
I don't know. It
So
just be the Mystical Archives 2, probably.
yeah, probably. I mean, I imagine there's a lot of instants and sorceries they could re-hit. They
Oh
could do
yeah.
like, they haven't done a proper like cool art reprint for all the like free if you control your commander spells. Like imagine
Oh
the
yeah.
Strixhaven
The
frame like deflecting swat or like the what was the blue one, the negation one. I can't
I don't
remember.
play blue.
Yeah, I don't play free spells, so we don't remember. But that kind of thing. That's what I imagine you're gonna see here. Uh, in addition to like more recent cards, because the last one came out right before MH2, right? So there's been a lot of
I
important
think
instant sorcery
so.
since then. So
Oh yeah.
including like the ones from that set, expressive iteration of the frame. Hello, it's free. Come on, guys. But right after this, we have Marvel superheroes. So last year, when we got the Spider-Man spoilers and we saw the Soul Stone was coming, we kind of made some predictions locally that it was going to be like, okay, cool. So we get the Soul Stone and Spider-Man, we get the Avengers set, we get the X-Men set, we get a space set, and then we finish it out and get two in one set. This set is kind of everything that isn't cosmic, right? So it's just superheroes in general. They didn't like
I
narrow
think
themselves down. Do you think
I
we
think
get
there's
all the
gonna be
stones?
no. I don't think all of them. I think there will be two in this one.
So how many stones are there? There's six, right?
Six. Six.
Okay. So what if what if they do a 5 card cycle in this set and they do the other 5 stones?
I guess that is possible.
My main concern is the whole headliner thing, right?
Well, I get yeah, that's true. Well, I was just also thinking that they already have a black one, but they would do a black one again.
I mean, I don't know. One of them's got to be either black or colorless. So
True.
we're either doubling up on a color or maybe Reality Stone's going to be 5 color or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
one of them could be all
One
colors.
of them could be 5 colors. I don't know why they would do that if they weren't going to do the gauntlet. I don't know.
And the gauntlet should be all five. They should make it colorless, and the gauntlet be woodwork and colorless.
All right, so since we're on the podcast now, I'm gonna call shot it. We've been joking about what the gauntlet's gonna do locally, and I decided I think the gauntlet would be coolest if it worked like Exodia. So if you have the
Oh yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet in your hand and then all the stones in your hand, you can reveal the gauntlet from your hand and just win the game. Because you're like, look, I have it. I have all the stones in my hand. I win, right? But it's not
I don't
gonna
know. I don't know about
actually.
in your hand.
No, no, no. Or maybe you have the gauntlet in play and then tap it and reveal all the stones in your hand and just be like, I win. Look, they're all here.
Wow, it's gonna be a miracle or what's the I don't remember.
Forecast. It's gonna be a
Kicker.
forecast card. Kicker
Kicker.
reveal 5 cards named Soulstone, Mindstone, Space Stone, blah 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 from your hand. If you do, you win the game. I don't know, some stupid stuff. It's gonna be a silly card. I'm hoping the Infinity Gauntlet is not just beginning of your upkeep. If you control all 6 stones, you win the game. I hope it does something cooler, because we've seen so many of these. If you do all of the things, your payoff is instant win.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of hoping they thought a little bit more about it because there's this whole like half
Omniscience.
thing. I don't know. Like it's cool. That's probably what the one of the blue stone is gonna have as its like
The
super
Mind
ability.
Stone.
Yeah, if it's gonna be Mind Stone, it's gonna be the like charge it up infinity ability. You have omniscience or whatever. But yeah. So that's Marvel superheroes. A little strange that they're blowing their whole superhero thing here in one set. Uh, Maybe that means we're not doomed to 10 years of Marvel sets with one Infinity Stone every year.
Well,
Uh,
they might also do a super villain if they don't do a lot of villain. They could do a super
yeah.
villain set.
I mean, they could do super villains, they could do like the space stuff, they could do the mystical arts, but they would have to name those sets like Doctor Strange or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I have no
Like,
idea.
I don't know. I don't know. We had a good idea, we thought, and then
Uh,
they didn't go with it. They went with something else. But
yeah, did need a little more details to know,
yeah.
to theorize on what they're actually going to do for the rest of the sets. Because I know there
Hmm.
probably will be at least one more.
Yeah, I mean, plus who knows how many supplemental products are going to be in here. We have that
Oh
Dandan
yeah.
secret layer coming out in a few weeks. There's going to be some random Universes
There's
Beyond crossover deck, and it's
well
13 million
there's
secret layers.
yeah, I was gonna say there's probably gonna be a lot of secret layers in the upcoming to that too.
Yeah, because I mean, like they do normally like, a drop every like month and a half, 2 months, but
Yeah.
they usually do them
About
tied to sets, and we have 7 sets next year, so minimum
oh you're
7 drops with set themed stuff plus the normal ones. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. But
yeah,
that
it
brings
is.
us to my most hype Universes Beyond set of next year, and that's The Hobbit. I loved the Lord of the Rings set because almost the whole thing was pretty chill on power level, pretty cool. Uh, there was a few power outliers, obviously, right? You had your the Bowmasters, the One Ring, even to a certain extent the what was the Gleeful Hobbit or whatever, the one mana mana dork that makes your commander uncounterable.
Uh I don't remember the
Yeah.
name of it,
So
but
like
yes.
there were some very pushed cards, Lauren revealed, Troll of Khazad-dûm, but there wasn't besides like the One Ring, nothing was too over the pale where it like overshadowed the fact that you got these Lord of the Rings cards in Magic. And it just felt like a really strong, cool, normal set because of all the fantasy themes, right? So The Hobbit is even more fantasy than Lord of the Rings.
I do
And
hope we get an actual Smaug card.
right, we're gonna get Smog, but it's gonna be the return of the goblins in Standard, guys. Lorwyn's gonna have goblins. The Hobbit's gonna have goblins,
Oh,
and they have
Lauren's also
over
gonna have
800
changelings.
goblins. Yeah, so we're gonna have a real goblins deck in August, and it's gonna be sweet. Then October.
I I'd play that.
October is Reality Fracture. So they were really like coy about this set when they talked about it in Atlanta.
Is that the finalized set name?
So I don't think it is. We'll see. Uh, I talked to a lot of the artists because I did a lot of artist lines throughout the weekend, and I was
Right.
asking them like, "Hey, you guys have a lot of cards coming out next year or whatever?" A lot of the ones who were in Atlanta said they have at least one card or a couple coming out. One guy was like, "I have 4 pieces and they're all in Reality Fracture." It was like that. He started to say a
Wow.
name. He was thinking about a name, and then he was like Reality Fracture. But most of the other people were like, "Yeah, it's in the big event set next year." I don't think they've given the name out yet. So maybe they're gonna really reveal the name later. I
I
mean,
I I don't mind the name Reality Fracture. I just don't think
yeah.
it fits.
Well, we'll see what happens.
True.
Uh, Jace. For those who haven't been keeping track with Magic Story, Jace has been on this like background villain quest for a while, ever since the Phyrexians were defeated, and he
Yep.
went and got this little adorable little guy Loot. Because apparently he's got a map in his head, like isn't that like the thing that they were trying to
Of
do in
the
Men in
the
Black?
Omen Paths.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought like the whole thing in Men in Black was like they were trying to go get that little like dog collar thing that had the location of some planet on it. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's been in Black 2.
Yeah, Men in
Anyways.
Black 2, thank you. But anyways, they went and did a Men in Black 2. They went and got the little adorable child, which is this little kid named Luke. Then they
Yes.
took him on horrible, horrible adventures,
The Men in
torturing
Black
him
secret layer.
for sets and sets and sets. And then Jace was just like really mean to him, and then went to Tarkir to go to where Nicol Bolas was imprisoned, let Nicol Bolas free, and then used the like meditation realm to do some crazy magic BS. And we haven't checked in on him since then. This was Tarkir, beginning of 2025. We don't get an update on this until presumably January of next year, and even then, they may not tell us until Strixhaven or Reality Fracture what happened. So
Probably.
they were being really coy about it. They were trying to hide like the main thing. They have come out and said since the event that this is not going to be Magic crossing over with the Universes Beyond.
Oh, they have?
They have explicitly said this. Someone asked Mark Rosewater on his Tumblr, and he did come out and say, "Hey guys, this is not happening. This is a Magic set. This is a Magic event set. You tune in for Magic. Do not expect to see anything that's not Magic." Uh, they did, but they also said in the like intro thing that they did some like set innovation that they weren't sure was going to make it through the next stages of design before being finalized as a final set. Uh,
I want
and
battles back.
yeah, they better be back. Oh my god. If we have a Marvel superhero set, a Hobbit set, and
Oh,
a Star Trek set without battles, I'm going to be so disappointed. I was sad.
so am I.
Battles weren't in Final Fantasy. That's terrible. It should have been boss battles, you know? Like the new type could be boss
Oh
battle. It
yeah,
would have been awesome. It would have been so cool. Imagine all these
yeah,
like
because
commanders that are
they
battles.
because why do they have a subtype if they don't have any other way? Yeah, because they're all
Yeah.
sieges
We're
technically.
gonna we're gonna get more subtyped battles so they can do more cool things with them. I really want them to start putting battles in commander decks where the winner, whoever defeats the battle, gets the reward.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be cool. I thought that would have been cool how the sieges worked that way, but they don't. I can attack your sieges if they're being defended by someone else in the pod, but you get the reward if I destroy the battle. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't make it, but whatever. But so as I was saying at the reality fracture innovation thing, the last time they've come out and talked about this stuff, because they're very open talking about like the process of making magic sets after the set's out. They had
Oh
been
yeah.
working on Dustmorn. They had done like a room deck, not unlike some of the unknown stuff, where like stickers and like, gadgets or whatever. It was going to be a deck, a side deck of rooms that you would introduce, not unlike introducing the dungeon, but it was a deck you brought with you, and then you place it on the table, and then you put a little indicator, like a meeple, like a board game character, put it on top of this little grid, and then you explore the house through the mechanics of the room cards. And they weren't going to be like double enchantments like they wound up being. Uh, and that was declined after they passed it off. They were like, "This is too complicated. We can't expect players to get these together. Not gonna happen for draft, whatever." And so they scrapped it. Oh yeah, the arena team scrapped that one actually. And then for Edge of Eternities, they tried to make it so they could put cards into the packs that one card in every pack that was actually an oversized card folded in half. And so they were gonna do these like gargantuan creatures to represent like space whales or planets, that kind of thing.
It would have been cool, but also I have no idea if those cards would even fit in sleeves after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, but in execution, it sounds like it'd be really annoying. Like, imagine if they printed, if those, like, really cool planet lands were like this, because they probably would have been, right? They're planets.
Oh yeah.
If you had to, every time you played your cool land, you would have to take it out of the sleeve and unfold it to the size of two cards, and then take that and put it on the table in your lands area. That would be so annoying. So I get why that one got scrapped. But these are the only two recent things like this that we know about that they wound up scrapping and not moving forward with. They apparently did something like this that got approved. So I don't know if it's going to be something crazy or if it's just they're trying to hype the setup a little extra.
It
But
it's
either
gonna
way,
be it's gonna be the Dungeon 3, but the dungeons are the Omen paths.
honestly, I would love something like Dungeons as this thing. Like maybe
Now
it's
that I
like
said that, I can
planes.
actually see that being real. Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I can see
what if it's
something like Plane Shift,
yeah, what if it's actually like plane chase? Earlier
or
you
that's
said
Plane
it might
Chase.
be like
That's what I
Plane
mean.
Chase when you were thinking of Planar Chaos. But what if it is like Plane Chase? Like actually, that'd be kind of cool. Obviously, some people would be annoyed by it. I think it'd be sweet. And then we finished the year off because somehow six wasn't enough for them. They needed a seventh set this year. They had to fit it in. So we got Star Trek. Man, I don't like Star Trek as a Magic set. I got like I love you Star Trek fans. I'm a Star Wars guy. All right. I obviously would have preferred Star Wars. It's never gonna happen. Star Wars has had about 15,000 TCGs since that movie came out. It's never
Yes,
coming to
sir.
Magic in a full set. It's not gonna happen unless like Fantasy Flight Games goes bankrupt or Disney needs a lot of money quickly. But it's not gonna happen. Star Trek's whole thing, as far as I'm aware, is that none of it's magic. It's all science, and it's coming to a game called Magic: The Gathering. Why? It's
I'm
silly.
indifferent about it.
Yeah, I know mechanically that's gonna be sweet. I really like spacecraft, even though they were a little underpowered in End of Eternities, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to see that Universes Beyond extra power kick in because they've got to be saving it up for something. Because Spider-Man had almost none of that power, so they got to be spanking it up. But yeah, so that is 7 sets next year, all 7 of which will be coming to the standard format. So, Kai, what do you think of this release schedule? Give me your thoughts, and let's talk about it, man.
I like diversity of product. I The problem is getting a hold of said product and pricing of said Universes Beyond sets.
Yeah, like so I've been playing standard. I mentioned it already a couple times, but I've been doing standard this last year. Started with Bloomburrow's rotation and was having a ton of fun. You know, Bloomburrow, Dustmorn, and then they announced that they were going to do Universes Beyond Standard, and I was like, that's cool. I was more concerned about the pricing increase for the standard format,
Yep.
and by good God, we saw that with Final Fantasy. Those
Yes, we
cards
did.
were expensive. Starting
On
town was like
release, yeah.
$30. They all went down over time, but think about how long we had between sets this year. Not that much time. So if you have to wait for the card to go down in price to then buy the card, to then make the deck, there's a non-zero chance that deck is not viable because, new stuff's coming out in 2 weeks. We got spoilers already coming. So you can maybe play the deck for a week and a half once the cards come in from TCG Player. And now we got 7 sets in a year. The time between Lorwyn Eclipsed and the unannounced Universes Beyond set is supposedly 28 days. Not even a full,
Really?
yeah, not even a full
Is
30
it's
days.
early March apparently?
Yeah. It's yeah. So apparently we only have 28 days of Lorwyn Eclipsed standard. I don't know if the person who made that, who pulled up that number, is counting the actual release of the cards as pre-release or the week after. Because if it's the week after, then we have like another week. But
Probably
like,
pre-release.
I'm hoping they're wrong and they're missing a week. Because another week would be nice. But like, think about this: if a deck takes 2 weeks to get figured out, if someone is locked in on standard, figures out the deck they want to play in January, then the Lorwyn cards get spoiled. They slot the new Lorwyn cards into their deck. Then they order them not on pre-release weekend when the prices are ridiculous through third-party resellers, but are
True.
actually at the normal prices a few days after release. So 8 days after the cards are legal.
Yep.
Then the deck shows up. What if someone else figured out a different deck by then? If you're trying to be competitive, you have to play the best decks, and you can try some brews here and there, but with the power level of current decks in Standard and in Pioneer and other formats like that, you can't. Brews aren't going to make it unless the foundation of that brew is something ridiculously broken.
Oh yeah.
And not every set's going to have that, right? Sure, maybe not every set's going to change Standard in this way, but many people are going to get all the cards for a deck together, order $100 worth every week for 2 weeks to get this deck ready to go, and then the next set's already going to be in the middle of spoilers before your cards have even showed up. And it's going to happen the entire year next year. So I was keeping up with Standard primarily this last year. I was going out of my way to get all the new cards when they were coming out for my decks and keep everything updated. This coming year, I think I'm only going to focus on the RCQ formats. I'm qualified for the February RC that's going to happen in Milwaukee, a short drive from where we live, and I'm going to stick to it there and play my weekly stuff when I can. But I'm all in on Commander next year because this isn't an issue in Commander.
This is a commander year.
Yeah, this is like the year of Commander. If you like to make a deck every once in a while because you see a Commander
This
that
is
like strikes your
this
fancy,
really seems like a nostalgia year.
yeah.
With going back to lore and going back to Strixhaven
Hmm.
and Reality Fracture being going like seeing characters and what they're doing now. And then, all the universes beyond stuff.
Yeah, but even the universes beyond are nostalgia hits, right? It's all the
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah.
superheroes we grew up with. They got Killmonger showing up in his design from the Black Panther movies. They got all of the like classic suits for the superheroes. And then they're gonna do, if they're doing TMNT, right? That's obviously everyone, who's around our age or a little older grew up with TMNT on
Yep.
cartoons, right? But if they're doing Nicktoons, it's even more of a nostalgia hit.
Oh yeah.
Strixhaven, less so nostalgia as Lorwyn and the others, but still
True.
they're gonna have that bonus sheet. They're gonna have callbacks to other sets. We already know that the main characters of Secrets of Strixhaven are all from different planes. They're like Omen Path students, so they're inherently going to be callbacks to other planes. And then Reality Fractures, because it's the big event set, they always chock full that thing with references to magic stuff. I think we visited every plane that
I
ever got a card in last time we did one of these.
I liked the Martian Machines when two legendary characters got and were on one card.
Yeah,
So that'd also be interesting for that set too.
yeah. I was really hoping we'd get more of that during the Omen Path arc, right? We had
Yeah,
characters crossing over between planes, but we didn't get like,
we just
uh,
got them.
yeah, we just got them. We didn't get like Marchesa and Chandra or something like that, you know? We just got a Marchesa card and a Chandra card on these different
Yeah.
areas. It was
Yep.
cool. I enjoyed the Omen Path arc. We had some weird hat sets in the middle, but it was fine. Uh, and then, but yeah, so if you're a commander player, this is the best possible thing for you. You're going to get super cool cards for your deck every couple of months. You get the one card you need out of Lorwyn, the one card you need out of TMNT, the one card you need out of Secret Strixhaven. You're going to spend maybe $50 on cards. Sometimes you'll get a card like the Soul Stone that's $50 on its own. But it's going to be an affordable year for you to take the commander decks you already have, upgrade them, take your old ones,
And
chuck them out.
also if your universe is beyond disliker, then that's four sets you can skip.
Yeah, like you're allowed to skip sets of Commander. If you're burnt out of the Magic lineup and it's because you're trying to do all of the new commanders all the time, step back, identify the fact that you can skip most of this stuff this year, and just enjoy the game for what it is. But if you're a standard player like I was this last year, I'm sorry, guys. This is too much. I mean, these sets are going to be coming out. There's going to be spoilers for Secret Strixhaven before we even figure out the best deck in Lorwyn Eclipsed. And the format's going to change every 2 months. It's going to be busy. Busy, busy, busy. Magic clearly wants to monopolize our time. Uh,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's up to us to decide if we want to do that. Uh,
I mean, hey, sometimes those commander games go into 3 a.m., but
yeah, but that's one night a week. You don't gotta watch articles every week to keep up with the new
oh,
best commander deck. It's a
I
whole
know.
thing. So I feel bad for anyone who's really serious about competitive Magic this next year because if these sets are consistently pushed like they've been for the last couple of years, and they're going to continue to be from now on, then this is going to be a tough year to keep up with decks. We're going to see decks like the Quantum Riddler stuff breaking out into Modern and stuff in half the sets next year. I mean, think about this last year. Almost every set has had some major breakout in another format that has shooken it up in some major way. So
I think so, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a very difficult year to be a competitive 1v1 player, and it's gonna be a phenomenal year to be a Commander fan. But we're not just here to talk about all the different sets coming out next year. We do want to talk a little bit about the specific cards that are coming out. So in this MagicCon panel, which we kind of alluded to earlier, Lorwyn Eclipsed had a bunch of cards shown off, and I wanted to go over them a little bit with you guys from mostly the perspective of Commander. So let's go on over to the card screen. All
Now, before
right.
we start talking about these ones, we
Mm-hmm.
have to also say that the other five shocks that weren't printed in Edge of Eternities will be printed in this.
Yes, thank goodness. The mana bases in standard have been so jank for anything that isn't specifically those shocklands. It has been so tough. But now we have all of them and multiversal passage and starting town. So there's gonna be some crazy 5 color soup decks just playing the best cards out of next year. It's gonna be definitely interesting to watch, but expensive to keep up with.
Oh
But
yeah.
here are the first of the new cards, as you've seen on screen for a minute now, is Emptiness. All right, so we're gonna go off back and forth, Kyrie, in these cards. So I'll start with this one. You go for the next one, okay?
Right.
All right, so this is Emptiness, 4 hybrid black white for a 3/5 elemental incarnation. When this creature enters, if white white was spent to cast it, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And when this creature enters, if black black was spent to cast it, put 3 -1/-1 counters on up to one target creature. And then it has Evoke for hybrid white black. That's 2 mana. This card's sweet. The Evoke elementals were really cool and iconic. Mole Drifter, all of its similar friends. And
Ingot Chewer.
yeah, Ingot Chewer and Pauper. Uh, it's great to see us come back to it with a pushed elemental. They keep giving white like cheap reanimation cards. It's ridiculous.
Actually, I'm gonna use the Evoke and I'm gonna pay white and a black, and so it's just gonna come in and die.
That is legal. Also, like if you reanimate this is just a 3/5. It doesn't do anything else. It's just here.
Nope.
So
It's just there.
you gotta cast this thing. You gotta cast it somehow. All right. So the next card.
We have Deceit. It is a 4 hybrid Dimir creature elemental incarnation 5/5. When it enters, if you paid blue, uh, return up to one other target creature, or no, one other non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And then when it enters, if you pay black, target opponent reviews their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and they discard that. Invoke it for Dimir. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, just like
I,
the
I
one before it. This one's awesome.
This one's got a little bit more power. I like the ability to pay the full 6 to bounce something and then have them discard it.
Yeah, like it's not very often that we play hand attack in Commander because like one card for a card out of their hand that you don't know is guaranteed to like the strongest card they could have in Commander is a little tough because you got two other opponents. But this is just like a perfectly fine reanimation body. Like 2 mana, bounce something, and then have a 5/5 for later is perfectly fine. Shades of the evoke creature that killed something that was not black. Uh, but also, if you just like cast the thing for 6, as you draw it in the late commander game, or God forbid, you ramped it all, uh, you just get to go. Okay, yeah, I'll just pick something in play that I don't like. Yeah, that Ristic Study. You gotta put the Ristic Study in your hand, and then I'm gonna look at your hand, and you're gonna discard that Ristic Study. Because the first ability is a separate block of text from the second one. So you do the whole thing. You pick your targets, which is going to be the thing you want to bounce, and then the player you want to take the hand of. And then it resolves in order. So they pick up the thing, and then you look at their hand, and you're like, oh, hey, there's that Ristic Study I just bounced. Put that in your graveyard. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, in like standard, this card's going to be sweet. I'm so excited to try this in a reanimator brew with Abhorrent Oculus. It's going to be sweet. All right. This is probably the best card they showed off in this block. This
I
is
love this card.
Yeah, this is Formidable Speaker. So it is one of the invitational cards. Someone who won the World Championship actually designed this card with Wizards. It's kind of his face in the face of the Elf Druid here. And Formidable Speaker is 2 and a green for a 2/4 Elf Druid. When it enters, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Then you pay 1 and tap this to untap another target permanent. Alright, Kai, what's the most busted thing you can think of this card doing right now in Commander?
Guy's Cradle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Target permanent.
Oh
Not
yeah.
it's not non-land.
Gaia's Cradle, Evando, the backside of the new flick, the old flip card, like the Cradle of Itlmok or whatever.
Yeah.
It can untap your Fauna Shaman. It can untap anything that makes more than 1 mana, right? Like if the
Oh yeah.
thing, yeah, if it makes more than
Actually,
one mana, it works.
this goes in a lot of elf decks, and a lot of elf decks have those elves that tap for multiple like pieces like Titania, or
Yeah,
the 3 mana elf that makes 3 mana. So
yeah. Or like pitch your reanimation target and then go find your creature that reanimates on ETB.
oh yeah,
Or pitch your extra land from your hand that you don't need and then go find your Crucible of Worlds creature. Or in other formats, you can use this to pay 1 and tap it and win the game with Time Vault in play. The person who designed this card, John Emmanuel Duprov, said he wanted to make a good card for Cube. And
really.
oh yeah, he did. And holy cow, this card is gonna be so cool. It's gotta be in Vintage Cube like forever, right? Like it does so many cool
I, I
things.
think it I think it's better than just for cube.
Yeah, I think he wanted to make a card for Cube and wound up making a staple for multiple formats. This is gonna be like Recruiter of the Guard, Ranger Captain of EOS level of like must
Oh yeah,
play if you're in the colors. Build a toolbox deck around it, but you don't even need to build a specific package to go with this card because it just gets anything. You don't have to discard a creature card. It gets any creature card out of your deck. This can be lands
true.
thanks to MH3. It
It is
can
it
get
is not
anything.
a creature card that you
Yeah,
have to discard.
so ridiculous. I'm so excited to play this card everywhere, and I hope that people don't realize how strong this is and it's cheap, so I can buy a
This,
lot of them.
this is going in toolbox.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kai. So you got a double face card. So get ready to start reading.
Yeah, we have a double face card here. We have Ashling Rekindled. The front face is a one in a red for a 1/3. Legendary creature, elemental sorcerer. Whenever this creature enters or transforms into Ashling Rekindled, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay blue. If you do, transform Ashling. And the backside reads Ashling Rhymebound. It is now an elemental wizard, still a 1/3. Whenever this creature transforms into Ashling Rhymebound, at the beginning of your first main phase, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast spells with mana value 4 or greater. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay red. If you do, transform Ashling. And that transforms plus back over.
Okay, so hold on. I know it's not really important for the spoiler of this card. This is a sorcerer?
Yeah,
We have creature type sorcerer now?
apparently.
We had two entire D&D sets and we didn't get sorcerer, but now we have sorcerer?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
I didn't. I didn't realize that until I was reading it.
we got to be getting Doctor Strange then, right? Like that's got to be happening, right? They had to be like, "Oh, well we want to make sure he's human sorcerer," right? They didn't want to make him
Probably.
a wizard.
I could see that in that Marvel set. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Back to the actual card itself. This card's broken in 1v1
This card's
formats.
this card is well. I think it's cool in Commander
This
too.
card is awesome in Commander and broken in 1v1. So, like, 2 mana, 1/3, ETB, discard, draw. That's a rummage. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've played worse cards in 1v1 formats before.
Now,
I've played worse cards in
I
Commander.
I think the transform conditions for these ones specifically in this set are very easy to fulfill too.
Oh, yeah.
And you're able to choose, unlike Daybound, Nightbound, where it's not always up to you.
And you don't have to keep track when they die.
True.
Yeah, and then, like, when you flip this over, this is where we get to, like, the Commander discussion of things.
Oh yeah.
You play this thing on
Y-
2,
y-
you loot, you get your next land, and then you untap, and you pay 1, and you make 2 mana of any one color. So it takes you from 2 straight to 5.
Now, that's interesting. I the way that I'd build this commander, honestly, would probably be is it probably big creatures just because it's 2 free mana and mana value 4 or greater does not specify instant or sorceries, which normally is a cards do.
Oh, yeah, huh. Yeah, no, it doesn't specify instant sorceries. I thought you had to, like, do spells, but no, it's anything. Oh, this can cast Quantum Riddler.
Yeah, yes it can. That's a
Oh my
very
god. This card's gonna be great. And then when you don't have anything to
can
cast,
you wait, can you use Quantum Riddler's warp ability?
you can. The spell has mana value 4.
It's mana value 5.
Yeah, mana value 5. So you can. Oh my
Oh, this card.
god. Oh
You,
no.
you are
Oh
welcome. That card's gonna
no.
be heated standard.
Oh
You're welcome.
no. The props deck is never going away. I
No,
love that shell so much. But I'm
no.
super excited to see Quantum Riddler popping off again
I
in standard.
I also like that we have elementals coming back. Elementals is one of my favorite creature types.
Yeah, it's so cool. The little bit of art we've gotten for this set already has been jaw dropping.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially the alternate frames for some of
Oh
them.
my gosh. We gotta get the tech to show cards on the fly soon because like those alternate frames for this set are insane. Insane. So cool. You have anything else to say about Ashley? Do you want to go on to the next card?
We can go to the next card.
The next one is Irdu, Carrier of Dawn. This card's sweet. All right, so 3 white for 5/5 elemental god, flying lifelink. Creature spells you cast have convoke, and then at the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay black, and if you do, transform him into Isilu, Carrier of Twilight. This is a 5/5 flying lifelink still. Each other non-token creature you control has persist. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a white, and if you do, transform it. So this is gonna be the commander of the set, right? This card is awesome.
Probably.
All right, so like let's talk
I don't
about
see them
this.
releasing anything else that would be like the commander of the set, unless well, I could see the commander decks being the commanders of the set because there's a 5 color
Yeah,
elemental stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways,
But like, so creature spells you cast having convoke is so strong in Orzhov colors. You're gonna cast so many creatures so quickly, and then the big downside of dumping your hand like this is like you get Wrath, you're done. Well, guess what, baby? You go to your next turn, pay a black, and flip this guy, and now everything's got persist. If they die to that Wrath, as long as it's not like Farewell, Sunfall, or Ultima, they're all coming back. And a little bit
This doesn't
smaller.
work with tokens, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work with tokens, but like
Yeah.
if you're playing creatures that make tokens, you don't get the tokens back, but you get the creatures back that then make the new tokens again. And those
Yeah.
tokens will have -1/-1 counters on them. It all works out. And like White's got so many ways to put counters on the whole team to take that downside away. So
Oh,
you're just
Cathar's
like,
Commando.
yeah. So just like reset it, like Cathar Command and all that stuff. But this card's also going to be broken in like bracket 4, where you're able to go all in on creature combo and just have this nice value commander. You get your convoke, you let your stuff, fill the board out with hate bears or stuff that slows down your opponents, makes it so they can't cast spells on your turn. And then you slam any sack outlet, any blood artist, and any creature with undying. And because of how the +1/+1 -1/-1 counter interaction happens, you sack the creature, it comes back into play with a +1/+1 and a -1/-1 counter on it, which both remove themselves from the creature because of how the rules of Magic work. And now the creature has no counters on it. So you sack it again, and 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 then you win the game. You just win. You just win.
Yeah.
It's we haven't had this piece in the command zone before. I think the
Okay. It's
cells. Yeah, we had Micaeus, but he's mono black, and then we had cells, I believe it is from Final Fantasy that works that way with the opposite. It works with persist creatures, right? Because whenever a creature enters from your graveyard, you put a counter on the whole team. Was how that one worked.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we had the opposite. We had one that worked really well with persist. Now this one works really well with undying. It's gonna be sweet. I mean, you know how black white creature combo works. This deck's gonna be awesome. So super exciting.
I like that this creature is also a god.
Yeah,
For
we've been getting a lot of gods recently.
yeah.
We've been getting like one every set. I'm a little concerned about Reality Fracture. Maybe it's gonna be some kind of god thing. What if Helios the
Oh,
big bad?
what if Jace is a god?
Maybe. I'm personally hoping we get a Planeswalker as commander rule change there, but we'll see. All right, all right, Kai. What's this next card?
All right, so we have a callback. We have Bitter Bloom Bearer for black creature fairy rogue 1/1 with flash and flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token when flying. Hello, uh, my Bitter Bloom Blossom came with a body, and I can play it on other people's turns.
Yeah, you love flash creatures, right, Kai? This is your whole thing,
Oh,
right? How much
oh
you
yeah,
love
this
flash and how much
I
you love it when
love
I
playing
cast spells during your turn.
love playing on other people's turns. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you don't have to play this on a main phase, and you can actually do it on someone's end step and get the actual the 1/1 on your turn.
Yeah. I mean, this card is great. Like anyone who looks at this card knows it's a good card. It's gonna have some issues in formats where there's more heavily played wraths, like fire magic and stuff. Just kind of blows this card out of the water. But
No, yeah.
uh, in Commander, this is an all star. Like make a creature every turn is such a cool effect for Commander cards. Uh,
And I was gonna look at it because you're gonna be losing life to make the creatures anyways.
yeah, like if your opponents are using their one of the 5 removal spells they brought with them today on this thing, and not like your payoff for all your stacking or whatever else you're doing, you're gonna be pretty happy. This card is just a value engine. If they just kill it, then cool, whatever. I have 45 other cards that do similar things, so this card's gonna live a lot longer than it should in Commander, and that's great. But I kind of set up this entire slideshow, so I get to talk about the next card. So let's take a look. Probably what's gonna be my most cast spell of next year, Morning Tide's Light. This is 3 and a white for sorcery. Exile any number of target creatures. At the beginning of the next end step, return those cards to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. Until your next turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Exile Morning Tide's Light. There's a lot of stuff I want to break down here. This card seems simple. Blink all your stuff and prevent all damage you would take. There's actually a lot of layers to this card that I want to break down. It
Because
seems
of
simple
the line breaks.
because of how this card works. So let me go from top to bottom. This card only costs 4 mana, but it is a sorcery, if it wasn't instant, this card would be broken.
Oh yeah.
So you exile any number of target creatures.
Does not have to be you control.
It does not have to be you control. So you can go, okay, cool. Every blocker you guys have is gone. Now I get my free swing in, and your stuff comes back tapped. So now if I have vigilance and I swing in on you for free, now that all your creatures are gone, you're gonna have your whole board back, sure, and my end step. However,
And and now the next player is gonna go,
everyone
and they have
else
two.
has two
There's two
tapped
tap
down
boards.
opponents. So it's not a full table goad, but it basically is a full table goad. Because what commander player can resist swinging on an empty face, right? Everyone does it. Even if they're not going to win the game for doing it. If they lose the game for doing it. I've seen many players just make a free attack, right? Then, you can also just blink your own stuff too, right? So it's got the texture to it of blink my own stuff for value, blink your stuff to clear out blockers, or even like, hey, the guy who went before me in the turn cycle, yeah, he's the arch enemy. We're gonna blink out all his tokens; they're gone forever. All his real creatures are in play tapped now. You guys got free attacks on them. Have fun, but you can't hit me no matter what you do, no matter how mad you are at me, because all damage that would be dealt to me is prevented until my next turn.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I love fogs. I love like modal spells with this kind of trickiness like this. Like Galadriel's Dismissal is one of my favorite cards. And this has textures of that, right? This card's gonna do so much work in like 5 decks of mine. It's so good. Oh, I'm
I
so
think you're gonna
excited for
start
this
playing.
card.
I think you're gonna start playing Pull from tomorrow, so you can get this out of exile.
I mean, I have Pull from Tomorrow and Catilda in the air. It is the best card in Magic after all. It's the only you take something from out of the game and put it into your graveyard effect that works in Commander. So, pretty good.
Unless they print something else.
Then I'll play that too. All right, guys. So what's the next card we got here?
All right, so here we have Sig, Water Wine Wisdom. He's another transforming card for 1 and a blue. He's a 2/2 legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. He cannot be blocked, and whenever this creature enters or transforms into Sig Water Wine Wisdom, target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card until end of turn. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay white. If you do, transform Sig.
Okay, and he transforms into.
Sig Wanderbrine Shield. He's a Merfolk Rogue now. Can't be blocked still. Whenever this creature is transformed into Sig Waterbrine Shield, target creature you target creature you control gains protection from each color until your next turn. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay blue if you do transform Sig. And he's still a 2/2.
All right. So, I'm less excited about this card for Commander and more excited about it for Standard. This is a 2 mana unblockable creature in the blue color identity. Until they ban it, inevitably, because it's not going to last until 2028. Kaido, Bane of Nightmares, is like one of the best things to be doing in Standard. It's breaking out in Pioneer. It's seeing fringe play in Modern and Legacy. That's how good of a threat on a Planeswalker body that card is. And this is a playable 2 mana unblockable creature that does more things. If you have turn 1 Spyglass Siren, turn 2 Sig, you give your Spyglass Siren the text of it when it hits, you draw a card. Your Siren gets in, refund you a card, and then your next turn, you pay nothing. You don't flip the Sig, you hit them for 2, and then you pick it back up for Kaido. It's going to be amazing in that deck. Will you ever flip it? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth it to go to 3 colors in that deck, but if you do, you can give your creature protection from each color until your next turn. And just to tell you how that works for the rules, if you have a Kaido in play and you flip Sig during your first main phase, that Kaido will be a creature. So you can give your Kaido, your Planeswalker, which is currently a creature, protection from each color until your next turn, meaning they can't block your Kaido, and then they can't damage your Kaido on the swing back on the next turn.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Will that be enough to make this deck
Who
go to
knows
another color?
if
Who knows?
who knows if they even need to do another color? Well, I mean, they might do with all the those new lands, like multiversal passage and starting
Yeah.
town,
Yeah. I
or
mean,
there may be just some random cantrip that makes a treasure. Who knows?
Yeah, there might some other way they want to do it. I mean, maybe they're just like, yeah, I'll flip it every once in a while off my starting town, but beyond that, it
Yeah,
was just a
exactly.
two-hit unblockable. But if you're getting this thing flipping every turn, you get a Kaido in play on 3 because of this thing unblockable on 2, you're going to feel like a god. It's got little mini curiosity effects. It's got a little extra textures with keeping your Kaido alive. It's a very good card. And in Commander, it's another in the long line of unblockable Merfolk looters, but this one doesn't make you discard. You just draw a card. That's great. You have to play this one in blue white. Not as good as mono blue, but protection
True.
from everything until your next turn is pretty good at keeping us up alive.
Most Merfolk decks are actually Simic.
Yeah, so not very good for Merfolk.
And
If
unfortunately, you can't run that, this and that.
yeah, but could be a cool card. I mean, it's a wizard and a rogue, so is that
That is interesting.
yeah,
That I didn't notice earlier too. That Ashling was what, sorcerer and then wizard, and then
yeah.
this one's a wizard then rogue.
So the whole gimmick with Lorwyn as a setting is there's Lorwyn and there's Shadowmoor. So like
Correct.
it's daytime and nighttime basically. So it's like the cutesy like
Well,
Disney fairy tales.
because last time we were
Mm-hmm.
there, the day-night cycle got fully restored.
Yeah, because it was like the one of
Una,
the fairy
Una,
yeah, Una, yeah, Queen of the Fae.
Una the
She was
Fae.
the one who was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and make this like always night or whatever, and then we stopped it, and then we haven't been there in like 20 years. So so we're seeing what the actual like natural cycle of it's day and then it's night looks like for these creatures. So like
Yep,
this is the daytime sig and this is the nighttime sig. Uh, Interesting that
it's very
he
interesting.
picks up white mana when he's in Shadowmoor. Very intriguing because I think that wasn't he Demir?
Yes,
Yeah, very intriguing. Yeah, but these
Sig
cards.
River Throat Cutthroat,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
River Brian Throat or whatever.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, so that's all we got for Lorwyn cards today. And with that, we're gonna bring the first episode of our podcast to an end. It's a little shorter than how we normally are going to be doing these, but we wanted to keep it nice and short and snappy and let you guys get introduced to us and take a look at some of these
But
cards.
and once we get going, we might have a question zone or something.
Yeah, so in the future, when we got more people, we obviously will have sponsorships, but we intend to take questions from chat. So if you have any questions you want to submit to us, go ahead and just tweet at Bracket Builders on Blue Sky or Twitter. We will be checking both, and then include the hashtag Bracket Builders podcast in your question somewhere. If it's a reply or if it's the beginning, either way, we'll find it, and we'll try and answer at least one of these questions per episode. In
Or
addition,
in
yeah,
the comments here.
yeah, and we'll check the comments here as long as they're still small, right? So just reach out to us in some way, and we'll let you know. But thank you so much for watching today's episode of the podcast. Check out our YouTube videos and shorts. We stream every week, at least once a week, usually on Wednesdays. So if you want to get one of your decks tuned up by the Bracket Builders, check over here on Wednesdays. We are Bracket Builders on every platform. We got it everywhere. So if there's a platform you've heard of, we're probably posting to it. So see you guys around. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.